The Lord did not envision a church that will be fighting against each other every week. But somebody slandering your name in the church, destroying your witness and your character, tearing up the team. The Lord has that in view here. He's talking about when people in a church egregiously sin against you, do something about it. Don't be quiet about it. The Lord is saying when your brother or sister egregiously sins against you, when it is a legitimate sin that's committed against you, when you've been wounded, when you have been hurt, the Lord is giving you, watch this, a license to go and address the issue. So look at what the first thing he says. He says, when this happens to you, he says, go. That is, don't be passive about your pain. Don't be indifferent about your pain. If you're up at night wounded all the time, if you feel grieved by what that person is doing you, the Lord is giving you permission to go talk to another brother or sister. Right? So what happens if you don't go? Well, if you don't go, you give the temptation for the pain that you're carrying to ripen into resentment, hatred, unforgiveness, pain. You let that thing on the side, you grow into a whole tree when it started out as just a little bush. So what the Lord is saying, to protect your heart from carrying wounds that deep, I am encouraging you to go talk to your brother and sister. Now, I know it is not easy for us to always go. I know for some of us, we may be shy. You may think, man, I don't want to be confrontational. For some of you, this may be difficult. But if you can pray when people sin against you and move on, then praise God, you go and do that. But I want you to see right here in the text, the Lord has given us grace to have healthy conflict amongst ourselves. He is not telling you you're going to be in church and never get wounded. He is giving you the presupposition that as long as you're a part of a church, it don't matter how great that church is, how good the preaching is, how good the worship is, you love the church, you post about the church, you tell testimonies about the church. As soon as somebody hurts you, you take flight. You vomit on social media. You get mad all the time because your expectation was, I would never get hurt in Christian context. No, listen, the temptation is always there for somebody to sin against you. So he says, go. The next word I want to draw your attention to is the word tell. You know what tell means? That doesn't mean fight. It doesn't mean argue. It doesn't mean go and attack the person who sinned against you. It says, Jesus said, tell. Tell is have an intelligible conversation. It is articulate your feelings. It is tell them the tears you've been shedding and the wound you've experienced. It says tell the person what has been happening to you. And as soon as somebody hurts you, instead of listening to the words of the Lord, the first thing you do is run and tell everybody in the church, so-and-so hurt me, so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that. And what the Lord is trying to protect us from, watch this word, is acquired offense. He's trying to protect innocent brothers and sisters from being soiled in their heart by the hurt that you're carrying because you did not take the time to go and talk to that brother and sister in private. And because you got hurt and aired your grievance, now you are in sin. And what the Lord is trying to teach us in this first verse is do your best to, watch this, mitigate beef between brothers and sisters, wow, in private. If somebody sins against you in the church, it is egregious, it is hurtful, it has wounded you, go and talk to that brother or sister alone. If you win them, it's over. Watch, listen, the drama's supposed to stop right there. It's done. No need to air them out, no need to put it on social media. It just dies right there. But if they don't want to listen, the Lord cares about his children being in unity so much, he says they don't listen. Go get 2 or 3 other people and go back and talk to them a second time. Now watch what the Lord does not say. He does not tell us who to bring. So we got to use biblical wisdom on who to bring and who not to bring. So I'm going to tell you who I do not bring to this conversation. I don't bring somebody who is an instigator. I don't bring somebody that likes to keep drama going. I don't bring a hothead. I don't bring somebody who's subjective. I don't bring somebody that doesn't want peace. I don't bring somebody who's immature. I don't bring somebody that likes to throw I don't gang up people from my squad who I already won over to myself and say, now let's go pounce on this person that sinned against me. No, I bring someone who is objective. I might bring someone who has more authority. I might bring someone who's more mature. I might bring someone who has some word on the inside of them. Why? With the hopes that if I can't convince them with my words, hopefully the 2 or 3 I brought with me might be able to say something to the person that I was not smart enough to say. This happened to me all the time, many years. Man, some team members going through something, they say, Pastor, can you talk to this team member for me? And here we go, 2 or 3 of us to talk to some team member, to be diplomatic, to help them to see the error of their ways, with the hopes that we can mitigate the sin issue in the person's life. It's at this point, look at me, 99% of all conflict in a church should end. Let me say this to you one more time, because I'm almost finished. Listen to me, American Christians who love to keep drama going. It's at this point, look at me, 99% of conflict you have in the church should end. Let me remind you, the Lord is saying to you, if you attend a church, you will have the opportunity, you may have it's a very strong possibility you may get hurt by somebody. But when you get hurt by somebody, if it is a sin against you, I want you to go and talk to them in private. I want you to mitigate the issue in private. I want you to do everything you can to win back your brother or sister, to help them to see the error of their ways. If they don't listen, I'm so concerned about your relationship. That thing that's so valuable, go get 2 or 3 other people who are wise, God-fearing, who can talk to them on your behalf. Now, at that point, if we are mature, if we are humble, if we are Christ-like, if we are God-like, if we treat each other like Christ, it should end right there.